Hey everybody, for exercise 20B, I'm going to do a quick tutorial showing you how to make the edits on these photographs, these touch-ups. So you're going to click here on the exercise instructions, and that's where you'll get the zip file. You'll click on that to download. Let me click again. I don't think I downloaded. Okay, there it is. And then once it's in your downloads, it's a zip folder. So you'll just double click on it and you'll get the blue folder. Double click on that. And you can actually hit shift and click each one. Once they're all three highlighted blue, right click your mouse, open with Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so we'll start with the tattoo first, and you may want to zoom in so you can see it a little better. So I'm hitting Command plus to zoom in. I'm going to use the patch tool. It's about 6 tools down, no, 7, 8 tools down. Yeah, 8 tools down. You're going to click and hold to get the patch tool. And with the patch tool, sometimes you need to sample, you need to draw a line around a small area and see how it does first. Just connect your lines, then let go, then click and hold and drag off into an area of skin you want to sample and let go and hit Command D to see how it looks. And it looks pretty good. And if you didn't like something, you could just sample another area and get another piece of skin to sample and hit Command D to make it look more natural. Okay, I do think we can go around the whole word here, but if for any reason it doesn't look good, you can always try again. The key with the patch tool is to make sure you have an area to sample that's just as big as what you have the running ants around. So you let go and hit Command D, and it looks pretty good. So that's the patch tool for the tattoo touch-up. For the stain on the shirt, you can do the patch tool. I'll show you what that looks like. Just drawing a circle around it, clicking and dragging it off to the side to sample this area looks pretty good. But there's also another tool that you can use, and that is the spot healing brush. If you hit the brackets to the right of the letter P on your keyboard, the far right bracket makes your brush go up, and to a bigger size, and the bracket to right next to the letter P makes it smaller. So if you make sure your brush is bigger than the stain and just click once, it should do a pretty good job. If it doesn't, you can always make your brush smaller and kind of go over the areas where you don't think it looks very natural. All in all, I think the either tool will do okay for that cleanup. And then, so you can use the patch tool or the spot healing tool for the cleanup on the shirt. For the logo, I want to hit Command plus and zoom into the Salt Life logo. And I can try the spot healing brush. It it does okay. The brush is a little big. I could shrink it down. So you can do spot healing, you can do patch tool. Okay, and then for the acne, this one is going to be a little bit longer to touch up. So the first thing is the spot healing for the little tiny blemishes. This will do a great job. But with this, the trick is to not have the hardness on too much, or it's going to leave a white circle. Um, so if you want to take your hardness down just a little bit, maybe to like 60 or 50, it'll give you a little bit of softer touch up with the spot healing brush. So the key is to make sure that your spot healing brush is just a little bit bigger than the acne blemish that you're trying to remove. And if you see that it's not doing a good job, you can always come back with a clone stamp or a patch tool. So with this exercise, just try out the tools to get more comfortable with which ones work best. And if you don't have a natural touch up, try a different tool. So for this big area, maybe try the patch tool. And the key is to sample some skin that might look a little more natural to this color right here. So maybe come right here or go here. So click and hold and just drag off. And that looks pretty good. Hit Command D to take a look at it. Looks pretty good. And you can keep using the patch tool if it's working nicely for you. And so the goal here is just to improve the complexion a little bit. And photoshopping someone's face, oop, I think I got a little bit of the lip. No, I didn't. It is a touchy subject. This is something that you want to ask them to do. So let's say you're going to set up some senior portraits and you're making some extra money in college to do maybe some high school senior portraits for people. And you have a client that wants to cancel because their senior portraits, they've got a blemish the day that theirs are scheduled. So you can tell them, hey, I can take care of that in Photoshop if you'd like me to. And then they don't have to miss their session and you don't have to miss getting paid. All right, so all of these bigger areas I was able to successfully use the patch tool with. And, when it gets shadowy, you just want to sample some shadowy skin. And so that's looking pretty good. And just to fix that's not looking too good. So I'm going to go back to where I messed it up with, and maybe just use a clone stamp here. So let me show you how to use the clone stamp. The clone stamp is very tricky. Where you see it sampled, you're going to see this cross right here. It follows your brush. So watch this. I'm going to sample some skin right here by hitting Option and click. So I've sampled this skin right here, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to click and lay it down. You have to watch where your cross is, because if your cross goes over an area of darker skin, it's going to lay down that darker skin. So I'm going to come over here, hit Option, and sample this lighter skin to put right here. And it's not looking natural at all. So I'm going to hit Command Z and undo all of that. And maybe just put it back on there and try the patch tool again. But with the clone stamp, it's very tricky, because if I sample this area right here and you have to be careful, because as you clone an area, that cross is following you and it is sampling the skin right where it's hovering over. So you have to sometimes stop and resample an area and start over again. So for this, I'm just going to go right next to the blemish to get a more natural skin color. So I'm going to sample this skin and then move upward slowly. And I'm having to come back and resample just to make sure I don't move too fast and get something on there. And so that's not looking very natural. So maybe the patch tool is going to be the best tool. You just kind of got to play around with it and see. I could also clone something right in here and just take that dip out like that. That might be okay. So the face doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want to see that you've, been able to, to make quite a few, touch-ups, and that you've gotten comfortable with the tool, so that if you have to use it in the future for your hybrid animal or for the projects we have left, or you may even want to use it in the future to make a little extra money doing photo touch-ups or senior portraits. Of course, you have to have a professional camera for that. All right, so that's it. That is just a little bit of the photo touch-up for the face and the rest of them for you. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, y'all.